Hey guys, how are you? Alright, I'm gonna try to move the chat so that I can see both the video and the chat at the same time. Na, 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 na. Oh, this is so exciting. Okay. Yay, we're online. How's everybody doing? And where are you from? Let me know in the comments so I can get an idea of where everyone is from. That's cool. What's it like in the States right now? I bet it's crazy. Oh my gosh, India, Hungary, that's so awesome. Philippines, represent. I have a lot of friends from the Philippines in college. Oh, you're working now? I hope I don't get you in trouble. Yeah, even though I'm in Korea, it's actually pretty stressful. Even though I'm not in the States for this whole election thing, I just really am ready for it to be all over. I don't know how you guys feel. Yes, it is Van Gogh. I got this off of Amazon for like $20 from a ship in from a store in Hong Kong. Um, it's really cute. I wear it all the time. I wore it in my last video. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I made a video about all the crazy experiences that I've been having recently. Like I lost my wallet and my phone broke and my passport went missing and it was just crazy. Did any of you guys see that video? Thank you very much, Nicole. Alright, so since we're online now, I'm gonna get some of my Pepero out of the bag. I've prepared it special just for you guys. I'm gonna do like a taste test type of thing. Let you guys know how everything is. Oh, that's really cool, Isaac. I really love this painting, so I always get compliments on this shirt whenever I wear it, so I'm excited. Here's the first flavor. It's called Coconut Pepero. I really love coconut. I know a lot of people feel really strongly about coconut. Some people don't like it, some people hate it, or some people really like it. I really like it, so I will be letting you know what it tastes like. Blah. So, do any of you guys know? I am in Korea right now. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. Wow. Oh, okay. So this is what it looks like. Got some flakes going on here. It's covered in chocolate. It looks so good. I'm really excited. Mmm. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I'm a fan. Yeah, it kind of does look like a pretzel. Alright, I'll give you some too. You can try it. How is it? It is really good. I'm definitely enjoying it. Wow, we have such an international audience here. This is great. EXO, which song? So I actually have class tomorrow at like 9 a.m. and I live about an hour and a half away from campus, so I'm not really sure why I decided to do this in the middle of the night, but like I just suddenly thought that a lot of my viewers are in the high school range, so I wanted to, and like a lot of them are home because they're not old enough to vote and their parents are out participating in the election. So I thought now would be a good time to, I don't know, just kind of see what this whole live streaming thing is all about. And also it's an excuse to eat lots of pepero, which I'm all about, because I love carbs. You're in class right now? So, could everyone kind of tell me, like, how you became interested in this channel, any questions that you have about Korea, so I can answer them live. To CM on dash Eris Love, I can speak Korean. I'm actually taking the topic exam this weekend. It's the test of proficiency in Korean, so I'm hoping to pass level 6, which is the highest level. I've been studying a lot, but not enough, so I don't know, hopefully I'll pass. But when I was back at my home university, I took classes in Korean. Unfortunately, my program wouldn't allow me to do that while I was here at a Korean university, oddly enough. Because it's an American program, they don't let you take classes along Korean students. I think it's really stupid. Okay, so your question about Korean boyfriends is one that I get a lot, actually. Okay, so this is just between you and me. Okay, you gotta promise you're not gonna tell anyone. Don't go around on the internet, tell my business. But I am seeing someone right now who's a Korean guy, and his English name is Jack, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, we've been hanging out, going out for about a month and a half now, and it's been really fun. I'm definitely enjoying the relationship. Koreans are a lot more like involved, I would say, in relationships because I've dated in the States as well. But maybe it was just me, maybe it was just a guy, but I don't know. Like I feel like Korean guys are a lot. Like, they're really good about like calling you and like making sure that you're always connected. So that's something that I really appreciate. Is Korea homophobic? I would say things are definitely getting better. There was a Pride Festival this past year, and like for the past several years, and it gets bigger and bigger every year. Like most of my friends that I know here don't have a problem with anyone in the LGBTQ community, although they're not really familiar with like the terminology and like ways that you should act and speak about people in the movement. However, the older people are a lot more conservative, so that's definitely a problem. Can I speak Korean now? Okay, like what do you want me to say? 안녕하세요. 저는 미국에서 4살이고요. 지금 그냥 갑자기 자르고 있는데 막 그 라이브 스트림 갑자기 하고 싶어서 그냥 지금 하고 있어요. 그래서 yeah, that's Korean. I don't really know what else to talk about. What's my favorite store in Korea? And I'm like really cheap. I don't like make bunch of money off of this channel, so I'm like really what's the word? Frugal. And so like I get most of my stuff online. I don't really go to a lot of stores. Studying in high school in Korea is the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life, but definitely a really rewarding experience, so I think it's definitely worth doing. Would I recommend applying to an exchange in high school or university? I think if you're trying to learn an Asian language such as Korean, Japanese, Chinese, or like a language that's really dissimilar from English, I think the earlier that you start out, the better, and the more immersion you have from the beginning, the better, because with a lot of these languages, there's so much more emphasis in the classroom on like learning proper grammar and like reading and writing. However, I think speaking is actually a lot more important if you want to learn how to communicate effectively in the language. So I say if you can, go in high school. But if you have to go in college, that like don't let that stop you. You might just have to like work a little bit more outside of class to make sure that you're actually getting immersed in the culture and that you're not just hanging out with other international students. Because when you're in high school, you don't really have a choice. You live with a host family, you go to a local high school, and you like really have to put yourself out there. Looking through questions. Am I a K-pop star? No, I'm not a K-pop star. However, I am going to be on Arirang TV on Thursday. I don't know if you guys watched some of my more recent videos. I was actually in a singing competition for a TV station called Arirang TV, which broadcasts shows about Korea to the international audience. I'm really excited. I can't tell you what the results are right now, but I also can't sing, just like letting you know in advance right now, because my family is sleeping in the next room. Actually, I should probably be keeping my voice down a little bit more than I am, but yeah. So if you're curious about my singing voice, check it out on Arirang TV, and I'll also be posting it on my channel, so you won't miss a beat. Are Korean people rude? I would say like a lot of things that are interpreted as rudeness are actually just cultural differences. Are there any bullies there? School bullying is is unfortunately a huge issue in Korea because there haven't been as many movements as there are in, say, like the United States and other countries to combat bullying. I think it's getting better, but even in my class in Korea, there were like girls that were like really mean to each other, which I didn't appreciate. So I would always try to like stand up for them, but it was hard because at the time my Korean wasn't very good. Did I ever bump into an idol? So funny story, Roy Kim, the guy who sings "Boom Boom 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 You Want like that song. He actually goes to my university in the States, so I run into him a couple of times, and he may or may not know who I am, but I don't know. So I met him, if that counts, and I also met a member of BIG, so that was pretty cool. Oh, okay, so what language do I think in? This is actually a really interesting question. Back when I was first learning Korean, I would have to like think about things in English and then I would have to translate whatever I wanted to say into Korean. But I feel like nowadays I think when I'm speaking Korean, I think in Korean. Like when I'm surprised, I'm like, oh, 깜짝이야, like instead of like, oh, like I respond, like my brain's just kind of like switched into Korean mode, which is pretty cool. Is it cold in Korea? Yes. It's disgusting right now. I'm wearing like an extra shirt underneath this shirt, and it's like made of fleece, and I wear fleece-lined leggings all the time under my jeans. It's really gross. I hate the cold. It's disgusting. Could I imagine visiting Vietnam? Actually, I'm planning on going to either Vietnam or Thailand in January. I will let you guys know what I end up doing. But yeah, I really want to travel around Asia while I'm here. Since I'm here on a scholarship, I'm supposed to stay for approximately a year. But since I'm only here for a summer semester, I would have to go like short, maybe under a week. But I really, really want to, like, two of the places that I really want to visit are Thailand and Vietnam because I hear the food is amazing. I actually used to work at a Thai restaurant in the States, so I mean, it was like totally Americanized Thai food, but I really want to try the real thing. Do I want to live in Korea for a long time? So my current plan is to move here semi-permanently after graduation. Um, I'm not really I'm not really sure what's gonna happen in my life. Like 5 years ago, if you told me that I would be like going to university in Korea and like being an exchange student in Korea, I never would have believed you. But I mean, life is crazy like that sometimes. So right now, that's my plan. But I mean, there's really no way of like knowing for sure whether it will work out. What's arts education in Korea? It really depends on the type of school that you go to. Like my school, we did have art class every week. But like I went to like a pretty good high school that emphasized like toning 교육, which is like educating the whole person. But I feel like if you were to go to like maybe 외고 or foreign language high school or a science high school, they probably wouldn't emphasize arts very much. However, there are really great arts high schools and universities in Korea. So like if you were to go there, you can develop your skills as well. And then there's also a lot of hagwons or private academies where you can get special art lessons, whether that be like painting or drawing or music or anything like that. La, 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 la. Do I have any Muslim friends? Actually, my best friend in college from the United States is Muslim. She's Pakistani, and she's the funniest person ever. And I really want her to be on this channel actually once I'm back in the States because I think you guys would love her. She's just got like the biggest personality in the world, and she's absolutely wonderful. Oh my God, Germany, Morgan. Oh my God. Okay, so Dracofi, sorry if I mispronounced that, asked what's happening politically in Korea right now and why do they hate their president. So basically, there was like this huge scandal with Park Geun-hye, who is the current president of South Korea, and she's a really controversial figure because her dad was actually the dictator of South Korea back in like the 70s and 80s. But he also developed the economy a lot. So there are a lot of people who really like him, but there's also a lot of people who really, really hate him. And she was basically she like basically rode his coattails to get into office, in my opinion at least. But so like her backstory is actually really sad. Like her mother was killed by a North Korean spy because they were trying to assassinate her father, but they like accidentally hit her instead. And then her father was killed by his best friend from military academy, and then was like overthrown by the military. It's like really crazy. Read up on Korean history, guys. It's absolutely insane. It's like better than any drama you've ever watched. But yeah, basically, so there was this guy who's like a well-known, now he's a well-known cult leader, who he wrote letters to Park Geun-hye, who's the current president, when she was a girl after her mother died, and kept telling her like, oh, like the ghost of your mother came to me in my dreams, and he convinced her that he had this cosmic connection with her mother, basically, and he like tricked her into giving him all this money, and then he died, and then his daughter basically took over the role of like hypnotizing Park Geun-hye, and she's also a cult leader, so Park Geun-hye embezzled $70 million from South Korean companies and like gave them. She basically gave it all to this woman named Tae Jun-sil, who was the center of this whole scandal, and she also Tae Jun-sil had access to private documents, speeches, plans for like strategy towards North Korea. And basically, it's just really bad. It put national security hugely at risk, and it also undermined democracy because like people they voted for Park Geun-hye, however controversial she is, but the person who was actually making all the decisions in government was Tae Jun-sil. So a lot of people are really, really upset about it. So hopefully that wasn't too boring. I really love politics. What's my IQ? I don't know. But you have to get ready to work. Oh, bye, Hunter. Do I watch Sound Tuna? Yes. Actually, funny story. One of my questions was actually featured on their TLDR segment one time. I think it was about Korean humor. So if you're interested in looking at my question and hearing the response to it, you can look it up. What K-drama do I like? I actually don't watch a lot of K-dramas. I know this is like terrible to say. I know that a lot of you really like K-dramas. Like, I don't hate K-dramas, it's just I don't have a lot of time to watch them. But my favorite one that I watched when I was in Korea the first time in Jeonju was Good Doctor, and it's about a pediatric surgeon that has autism. And I thought it was really interesting because like the female lead is like this really strong, gutsy character. Because I don't know, I don't really like it when in Korean dramas, like the girl's like very meek and shy. Like I'm not really into that. I like it when like there's like, strong woman, like a strong leader. And it also like broke a lot of the stigma around autism. So I thought it was really interesting. So Bookish Singer asked, is Korea more westernized than you would think? I guess it depends on your perspective. I would say like most things that you would look for, you could find somewhere in Seoul. It's a massive city, metropolitan area is 25 million people, so like pretty much everything you need is here. But I mean, it is still Asian city with its own culture and norms. So if you come here, like just basically come with an open heart and mind. And do your research, but also realize that like not everyone's gonna live up to the standards that you have set in your head. So I think like coming with a completely empty slate is probably the best way to do that. So does Korea have anything cool anthropology-wise? Social Turner asked from her anthropology class. So hello to you and your classmates and like whoever. But don't get in trouble because you're watching this video. I would feel really bad. But yeah, Korean culture and history has actually existed for 4,000 years. So there's a lot of really interesting anthropological like studies being done. However, a problem is that a lot of the like tombs and architecture and like, artifacts are either in North Korea or were destroyed during the Korean War. So there's a lot of contention, but I guess that kind of makes it more fun because there's like more mysteries to be solved. Like nothing is really set in stone, per se. So, I've decided if I'm gonna upload the live stream yet, but more comments below. Could you see something in Korean first? I would screech something for you guys, but my host family is asleep in the next room, and I really don't want to wake them up. So, yeah. I'm curious, what are the next steps for Korean politics because of the scandal? Sarah Hong asks. There's really no way of knowing. I don't think that Park Geun-hye is going to step down personally, just because like that would be really bad for her politically. But I mean, like pretty much everything, her entire career has been bad for her politically. But I think the 새누리당, or the New Frontier Party, of which she is the representative. So this in Korea, sorry, I'm like explaining Korean politics. There's the 민주당, or the Democratic Party, and then there's the 새누리당, or the New Frontier Party, and the New Frontier Party is kind of like the Republican Party in the United States. It's a lot more conservative. Their stance on North Korea is a lot more like headstrong and I guess direct. And they have a lot more emphasis on like economic development. But basically, like they don't have a majority in the Senate right now. So if Park Geun-hye were to step down, they would lose power and they could possibly just disappear because a lot of young people really don't like them anyway. So I don't think she's gonna step down, but I think she like really messed up, basically. So what do South Koreans think about North Koreans? And then that's from Shawshank Pool. I'm so sorry if I'm like butchering you guys' names. I always try to do my best, but sometimes it's hard. So what do South Koreans think about North Koreans? I've actually had the privilege of working with a lot of North Korean refugees. During my time in Korea, I worked at the North Korea Strategy Center this summer and throughout the past year, and I have some videos about them both in English and Korean, so if you want to check those out, that would be great. And I also worked for an organization called Now, or Now Action and Unity for Human Rights. They were both owned by North Korean defectors, which are called Tabukja. I'll write it. It might pop up before I actually say it. Or Setomin is like the better term. Yeah, I think it came up earlier than when I actually said the word. But so it's a 탈북자 that's the Korean words for a North Korean refugee. But yeah, so like when I was working with them, like they're some of the most hardworking and was just most positive, diligent people that I've ever met. But there's a lot of stigma against North Koreans, I would say, in South Korea. Like, a lot of people think that they come here and they just get benefits from the government, that they're really lazy. And although that's definitely not the case, because in order to come to South Korea, people have to go through a lot of really difficult situations. Like a lot of people, you can't just cross the border from North Korea to South Korea because of the DMZ, or the demilitarized zone, which is the border between North and South Korea. There's like tons of soldiers there. It's the most heavily militarized border in the world. So like if you try to cross that border, you're gonna get shot by someone. So most people have to come through China. And the problem is that North Korean refugees are not recognized as refugees by the Chinese government. So a lot of times they, if they're caught by the police, they're sent back to North Korea and they have to go to prison. And in North Korea, they have this system where if you go to prison for a political crime, your mother, your father, your grandparents, your kids, and your grandkids can all also go to prison because they want to wipe out all the like traitors' blood. It's really sad. So people have to be really careful, and people will get like caught in sex trafficking, and it's just a really bad time. So like the people who actually make it here, which is about 10% of the people who try to leave, because there are approximately 300,000 North Koreans living in China in hiding right now, but there's only about 30,000 who actually made it to South Korea. This really, really small number. So like the people who did make it chances are they had to go through a lot to get here. So I think a lot of the stigma around North Koreans in South Korea is wrong. Sorry, I'm like talking about politics all the time. This is actually what I'm kind of like in real life, just like letting you know. So I go to Georgetown University, I'm in the School of Foreign Service, so I'm really interested in international politics, and I'm like obsessed with like the whole North Korean human rights situation. I've worked with like a lot of NGOs on this issue, so like, sorry that you're meeting the real me right now. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, keep talking, keep talking. I'm so sorry. Tell me if you're getting bored. Just like, feel free to see, like, Sarah, shut up. So, what courses am I taking in university right now? So I'm going to Yonsei University, and I'm attending courses in the UIC, or the Underwood International College. So I'm taking Korean, International Conflict and Cooperation, International Security, Korean Studies, and then there's another one. North Korean Politics and Propaganda, which is a pretty interesting class. The professor, Jean Lee, she was actually a foreign correspondent journalist in North Korea for like 4 years. So she like lived there, breathed the air, and she like knows so much about the country. So like, she's really interesting, and I think she's really cool. I actually had a presentation for that class this morning, where I had to present a movie, because all movies in North Korea they're propaganda, because they're produced by the government. But I forgot that I had this assignment until last night at like 11, so I had to watch this movie and then make like a PowerPoint presentation on it, but I hadn't even finished the movie, and there was no version of the subtitles anywhere, so I just had to like watch the movie in Korean. But like North Korean dialect is really, really different from South Korean dialect. So like if it was a South Korean movie, I would have like no problems, because I'm relatively fluent in Korean right now. But because it was in the North Korean dialect, it was really hard to understand, and also the sound quality was really, really bad. So I had to watch it like 3 times to fully understand everything. But the professor really liked my presentation, so it was worth it, I think. Do I get homesick? There are things that happen that are like more frustrating here than they would be in the States, such as my passport going missing and like my phone and everything being gone, because I mean, like, I don't have anyone really around to help me out when I'm in a bad situation. But I'm not really, this is the most fun, I'm not really eating. But it's challenging. I don't really miss home, or I don't really miss America that much, to be honest. And like the main reason is actually the food. Food is really important to me, and DC is really not a great food scene if you're a poor college student like me. So yeah, I don't really miss it that much. Do I meet the people I've met online? Yes. I've actually made some of my best friends through this YouTube channel. There's a kid named Spencer who went on the same program that I did the year after me, and I met him because he commented on one of my videos, and I was like, oh my god, we need to be friends. So like now we're friends in real life and we hang out all the time. It's really cool. He actually goes to a Korean university, just like not as an exchange student. He's gonna be going in for all 4 years. So he's a really cool guy. He used to have a YouTube channel too, but I don't think he's doing it anymore. Do I like K-pop? And if I do, what group? And this is a question by Appa Manswell. I'm really sorry for mispronouncing your name. Of course, Big Bang. I mean, come on. Like, I guess they were the group that really got me into K-pop. But right now, I would say my favorite groups are Akdong Musician, Jiko, the rapper, and I'm also a really big fan of a singer called Kim Dong-yu. And I sang actually one of his songs on TV, which, sorry for like shameless plug, but it's coming out on Thursday, so if you want to check it out, go to Arirang TV or you can see it on my channel. Anyway, he was like a ballad singer in the late 90s, so I really like his music. But like the Koreans think I'm a nerd whenever I say that. La la la. Is Korean university easier than American university? In my experience, yes. My university in the States is like really well known for its politics program, so that could be a reason why. But also like I feel like in Korea, it's just a lot more. There's a lot more like rote memorization, frankly, which I don't really like. There's not a lot of emphasis on like interacting with professors and like truly learning the material. But that's just my personal opinion. What are my thoughts on the direct democracy replacing our current system? Is this in the United States? I think I don't really understand the electoral college, and I go to like an extremely political university, so I think we need to have a system that better represents our people. Because like just because you live in a certain state, I feel like it's not fair that your vote counts for more just because you live in like a certain district. I also think it's stupid that like electoral voters, they can just vote for whoever they want, regardless of what the people in their district actually vote for. I think that's silly, because I know there have been a couple of people who say, like, oh, I'm going to vote for Trump, I'm going to vote for Hillary, even if my constituents don't want that. And I think that's not democracy. That's not what people want. Sorry, I'm just like talking about politics this whole time. So how long have I been in Korea? I lived in Jeonju, which is a city in the southwest portion of the peninsula, for 10 months when I was in high school. I was here for 5 weeks last summer, and then I came back to Korea in early June of this year, and I'm going to be here until mid-February, and then I'm going to China. So I think I'll have been here for a total of 19 months at the end of this, like a total of about a little more than a year and a half, like sprinkled over 3 years. Are my politics very left-leaning? I don't really want to like talk about my personal politics on the internet, but I think international security is really important because I don't want to get nuked anytime soon. So I'm not a huge fan of Trump, TBH, because I think he hasn't really thought through his international, like his diplomatic strategy a whole lot. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm not like rejecting any of you if you think differently. So Mariam Hisham, hi Sarah. Hello Sarah, I'm an Arabic girl and I love you and I always want to support you. Oh my god, my heart is so warmed. You guys are amazing. I love you. Was I ever disappointed when I first came to Korea? This is asked by Sugar Daddy. So here's a bite of Pepero for you. I think a lot of the frustrations that I had, especially the first time that I was here, was with myself. Especially like my struggles picking up the language. It was a hard time, TBH. But yeah, I think like once the language barrier went away, I had a lot fewer of those experiences. But yeah, that's just my experience. What do you think about the U.S. South Korea regime's collapse's attitudes towards North Korea? Wow, you guys are just throwing out the big questions here. I think I do think the North Korean regime is unsustainable at its current with its current system because it's mostly relying on China, and like China is getting increasingly fed up with North Korean leadership, and they continue to do nuclear tests. They continue to put Asian security at risk. It's a huge problem, and it's not just a problem for North Korea. It's also a problem for South Korea, China, Japan, and also it threatens like the U.S.'s role in Asia, which is kind of like holding the peace for now in the area. I think like China doesn't want North Korea to collapse because they don't want to be on the border with a U.S. occupied Korea. And I can understand that because China's on the border with 16 countries. That's a lot. And like if North Korea were to collapse and there would be unified under a South Korean government, like there would be a huge outflux of ethnic Koreans from China into Korea to like be with their people again, and there would also be a huge outflux of Koreans into China. So like it would just be a mess for them politically, geographically. They just don't want to deal with it, and they also don't want Americans looking over the border at what they're doing essentially. Pepero, it's Pepero, of course. How old are you and how long have you been learning Korean? I'm 19 years old. My birthday is in April, and I've been learning Korean for about 3.5 years now. So, yeah. I hope I can meet you when I come to Korea. Me too! Send me a message if you come to Korea, Yuki, and I will try to see what I can do. What is the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me in Korea? Oh my god, so many things. I would say, I actually made a video about this, but it's kind of like an exemplary experience for me. So when I first got to Korea, my Korean was really bad. Because I'd never taken a class before, I was teaching myself, and I didn't have any Korean friends where I grew up. So I didn't have any like chances to practice. I mean, it's not an excuse. And these days we have the internet and like we can use all these resources, but like I didn't think of that. So I was stupid and I got there and I didn't know any Korean. So like the first thing that happens, I get off the plane and I'm like looking for my host family. I can't find them. So I'm like running around this airport, like literally I have everything in my hands. It's like 100 pounds of just like crap. And then I see this guy and he's got this sign made out of paper. It's like written in tiny letters. It's like, "Welcome to Korea, Sarah and Carol." Carol Ann was my friend who came to Korea with me. She was from Canada. We met while we were here. But like, anyway, like, he wrote this tiny sign in pencil on the back of his math homework. And I later found out he was only 15, which is the same age that I was at the time. And so, like, I don't really know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I don't know if you speak English. I can't really speak Korean, so I just kind of like pointed my name tag, which said my name on it. So he's just kind of like, cool. He like nods and he grabs my stuff and he just takes off. And I don't really know what to do because like either I've just been robbed or like he has got my stuff. So I decided to like follow my stuff. And I'm just like, what do I say? What do I say? Like, how do I start a conversation? And I'm like, names. I should ask his name. So I'm like building up the sentence in my mind. I'm like, okay, cool. So I like put on my hand. I'm like, oh, 제 이름이 뭐야? And he's like, what the heck? Like, what are you saying? And I kept asking, 제 이름이 뭐예요? 제 이름이 뭐예요? Which actually means, what is my name? And I asked him, what is my name? What is my name? What is my name? Like 10 times. Because I'm an idiot. So he was really confused, and it was just a bad time. So like that's one of the most embarrassing things that's happened to me while I've been in Korea. Yeah, and like things like that happened a lot, especially like, when I first got here. So what I Joy Coffee asks, would you ever want the job of being a U.S. ambassador to South Korea? I mean, like, that's the dream, but, like, there's only one ambassador, and, like, it's probably not gonna be me, so I mean, I doubt that it'll be me, but, you know, it could be, that'd be fun too. So how do you feel about when people say that global warming isn't just a Chinese conspiracy? I believe in global warming. 97% of scientists have agreed that global warming is actually 97% of scientists have agreed that global warming is real and it's caused by human activity. So I am not a scientific expert, so I'm going to side with the scientific community on this issue. That's just my personal feelings about it. So I don't think it's a conspiracy. Always make live stream, please, and take care of yourself. Okay. Right. Thank you very much, Miriam. It's so great. Thank you very much for your comments. I'd love to see some videos of just me ranting over Korean politics. That's basically what this video is. So I apologize. What's my wake-up time and bedtime daily? Shashank Puli asks. I usually get up around 8 a.m. because it takes me about an hour and 20 minutes to get to school. I live really far away from school because of the host family. My program put me here. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to put me so far away, but fortunately my host family is really, really wonderful to me, so it's not, I mean, frankly, it's pretty inconvenient, but, it could be worse. And then I go to bed. Well, I was going to go to bed around midnight today, and it's 1:24 a.m., so I guess that's what happened. Where am I from? I live in Georgia, by the way. Oh, they're from York. So are you Korean American by chance? That's really cool. Or if you're like studying Korean and it's your Korean name, that's also really cool. I'm actually from Virginia, so we're like 2 states away from each other, but I go to school in Washington, D.C. Wow, you guys are asking me a lot of questions about politics. What do you think of the West's comical and jokey perception of Kim Jong-un, and do you think that films like The Interview makes light of a serious dictator? So I've actually talked with a lot of North Korean refugees about this film, and pretty much all of them have said that they really dislike the movie because it kind of, like you said, it makes, it's kind of like a caricature of this guy who's alive and responsible for like millions of people's death and suffering every single day. So like, I don't really appreciate films like that. Like, I don't know, like, it was really irritating because when the movie like came out and there was like all these threats from allegedly the North Korean government that they were like gonna like bomb movie theaters or whatever, people were saying like, oh, like it's a threat to freedom of speech, but like. They tried to make it into this like big noble thing that it just wasn't. Like, it was a Seth Rogen film. Like, it doesn't. It's a stupid movie. Like, they didn't do their research. I feel like it could have been a lot better done. And it did nothing but like harm people, I think. So I don't really like that movie very much. Am I okay with fans messaging me, and if yes, where? Oh my god, are you seeing like, I don't have fans? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, that's so, duh. I mean, you guys, we're all friends, okay? Like, I'm just like a regular weird person, so you don't have to think like that. But yeah, message me anytime. Leave a comment on one of my videos. You can email me at my email address that I leave at the end of every video, SarahsSeoulSearch, which is the name of my channel, at gmail.com. Yeah, like, feel free to message me anytime, and I'll try to get back to you. What can I say about Korean beauty standards? I actually made a video about this, and I think like it kind of it randomly got like a lot of views within the past couple of days. It's called "Am I Ugly in Korea?" and it kind of talks about my experiences getting criticized and complimented for my appearance in Korea. Sorry, I've been talking about North Korea all day. Just like regular old Korea, South Korea, safe one, not a dictatorship. But yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of emphasis on like having really clear skin, and like being really pale and really thin, and like for instance, like when I was in Jeonju, I actually had a really I never like talked about this on my channel publicly. Like I had a really bad experience with my first host family, and I was constantly stressed out. So I lost a lot of weight. I lost like 10 kilos or about like over 20 pounds in like a really short period of time, and I was like almost underweight. So like I was pretty thin. You can see in like some of my videos, I was like pretty thin towards the end of my exchange because of that experience. But then I gained some weight when I went back to America. I feel a lot healthier. I feel a lot better about myself and like the world in general. But then when I went back to Jeonju, a lot of people were like, "Oh, like Sarah, you gained weight," and I don't really care, but like it's just like I don't want to hear that. It's like it's just not what you want to hear. Um, so yeah, I think people are a lot more like they don't hide any any of their thoughts about it. Do I have an Instagram or Snapchat? I have an Instagram. It's the same name as my channel. However, I'm not able to update it right now because I don't have a cell phone. Because it broke as well. And like, it's a really long story, but like, basically my phone broke, my passport and wallet was stolen. My replaced debit card was sent to Kazakhstan or like Kyrgyzstan or like some weird country, and like it's been crazy. So like I just got my new debit card literally yesterday. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do for a phone. Did I apply to any Ivy League universities and did I reject them? No, I didn't apply to any Ivy Leagues. Georgetown was my dream school for a really long time. So I'm really happy that I get to go there. It's not perfect, but I am having an overall a good experience. So what year am I in uni and would I recommend studying abroad even for a year? Yes, I would absolutely recommend studying abroad. This is my fourth time studying abroad, and by the time I graduate from college, I will study abroad 5 times. First time in Korea, second time in Taiwan, third time this summer when I was living by myself in Sichuan, fourth time with CIE, and then fifth time in China. And every single one of them, although there's been like a lot of challenges, I think have definitely contributed to my growth as a person. And I've never met anyone who like studied abroad was like, oh, I regret doing that. Like it's never happened. So like just go, honestly. I'm a junior right now, so after I go back, I have to graduate, which is like crazy, but I wouldn't give this experience back for the world. So what do I want to become? Like what kind of occupation? So for the scholarship that I received, I have to work for the government for at least a year after I graduate. After that, it's really, I don't know. I really want to do something that has something to do with North Korea, like or international security or human rights. But I mean, there's really no way of like knowing what's gonna happen. So I'm trying to keep my options open. So yeah, this is my name in Arabic. And oh my god, Miriam, like you were just the sweetest. I love you. Lady246, I have to go, sorry, can I leave a message anywhere? Yeah, of course, you can leave a message, like either here or on my channel. Sylvia Mama says, hi Sarah, I love your videos. Oh my, you're the sweetest. Swytech asks, which presidential candidate do I support, Hillary or Trump? I don't support Trump. I don't love Hillary, but I think since I said like international security is something that's really important to me, I think Hillary Clinton kind of knows what she's doing in that area. I know her track record isn't perfect, but she does have one. So I think that's important. El Hosni asks, how am I? And do I love EXO? I'm well. Thank you for asking. And yeah, I like EXO. EXO's good. EXO's fun. It's kind of one of those things where like you have to like it, or else your life in Korea is just going to be really miserable if you don't like them. Okay, so Archie Blue asks, to change it up a bit, do you play any instruments? I don't play guitar or piano or anything, unfortunately. I took piano for like 3 weeks when I was in like the 5th grade, but it wasn't even a real piano class. It was just like my friend from elementary school's sister that came to my house every couple, like every week or so. And all she wanted to teach me was the Star Wars theme song. And so I learned nothing else. I only learned the Star Wars theme song, and that was it. But I like singing. I don't know if I'm any good at it. I guess we'll have to see, because on the broadcast it comes out on Thursday. But yeah, I really love music, and I'm doing a performance club at Yonsei, which I'm really enjoying. La, la, la. Do I know BTS? I'm familiar with them. I don't know a ton of their music, TBH. I'm kind of like behind the times right now. Isaac Wittenberg asks, do you speak any other languages besides Korean and English, and what's your favorite color? Wow, these are cool questions. So I speak Korean and English as well as Mandarin and Chinese. I took it for 3 years in college. So like Chinese, for Korean, I'm probably like on the topic levels, I'm like level 6. For Chinese, I'm like HSK 5. And I'm trying to get 6 when I go next year. I've never made any videos in Chinese, but I mean, like, that's something you'd be interested in seeing. I'm open to making it. And my favorite color is probably either cerulean, which is like really bright blue, or mint green. I think those are my favorite colors. But I think blue looks best on me, which is why I'm wearing this. Also, it's really cozy and it's cute. So, yeah. So does Korean culture have a taboo against tattoos? I was really surprised because in Jeonju I like never saw anyone with tattoos, but in Seoul there's a lot of people who have tattoos. So I don't think this should be something that like stops you from coming here, if that's what your plan is. How many languages can you speak? So like I said, my best languages are English, Korean, and Chinese. However, I did take Spanish and French when I was in college or in high school. So I can like kind of read them, but like I haven't spoken them in a really long time, and it's kind of embarrassing. So like I'm not very. Oh my god, I'm choking. Sorry. My voice is getting kind of tired, so I'm probably gonna have to log off pretty soon. Also, I have class tomorrow. But oh my god. Yeah. So I only speak like 3 languages well, and then French and Spanish. It's like very, 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 very basic. Mariam Hashem says, Sarah, did you know there are many Arabs love you and I always talk to my friends about you? Oh my god. So I do have friends who like have background like in that region. But they're like mostly born in the States. But like we can be friends. So like now I have an Arab friend. It's pretty cool. So Elaine Leo asks, what helped me to improve my Korean, and I would say definitely you just need to, like, the most important thing if you want to improve your speaking especially is you just need to get out there and make a lot of mistakes and just like talk to people. The best way to do that is but with one-on-one language exchange. Actually, not even language exchange, but like be clear that you want to speak Korean the whole time. I think it's really important. And I don't suggest going out in groups just because, especially if you're a beginner. But a lot of times what happens is people will try to speak to you at the beginning, but like either you don't have confidence or like you're unable to come up with a lot of words. So people just end up like talking among themselves and you're just left by yourself, and that's not very fun. So like basically just like take what you're learning and use it in the world. So Travel asks, isn't it pretty late in Korea right now? Yes, it's 1:36 a.m. I really need to go to bed pretty soon. So I think once I hit an hour, I'm probably gonna go to bed. So in like 5 minutes, I'm probably gonna have to hit the hay. But I definitely want to do this again because it was really fun. What was the happiest moment in my life? Wow, such deep questions. Hold on, I'm gonna plug in my laptop so it doesn't die. What was the happiest moment in my life? I'm gonna lie down, because I'm getting kind of tired. I think the moment that comes to mind is when I was in Jeonju. I went to this church, and I had a lot of friends there, and one time we had a sleepover at the church, and, like, we had this, it was really amazing. We had, like, this massive water gun fight at a playground in the middle of the night, but we had to, like, do it silently. It was really fun. So, like, we did that, and then we had sparklers. We went to this, like, empty elementary school field, because there's usually, like, a dirt field in front of every elementary school, and we were just, like, lighting the lighters, not lighters, sparklers, I'm forgetting English. So we would, like, light the sparklers, they would, like, go off, and then one of my friends, like, threw them, just, like, threw a whole bunch of them, like, as far as he could, and it was, like, it was really amazing. It was, like, shooting stars in the middle of the night. I don't know, I just felt really close to them in that moment, and, like some of these people are still, like, very good friends to me, even now that we don't, even though we don't live in the same city or the same country. But, like, yeah, I don't know, it was just a really meaningful moment to me, and I was really happy in that moment. So, well, thank you, Emma Hansen, for helping me remember that. I haven't thought about that in a really long time. So Liana Andreasen asks, do I get paid for my channel? I do get paid, not a lot. It's usually about, like, 1,000, or, like, $1 for every 1,000 views. So, like, on my video, like, An Ordinary Day in Korean High School, and, like some of my more popular videos, I've made some money off of them, and that's actually how I bought my plane ticket to come to Korea this time. But it's not really something that I can depend on as, like, my primary source of income. But, you know, like, if you get your friends to subscribe and watch my videos, maybe someday, that would be pretty cool. So am I planning on doing more live streams? And I know I'm super busy with school and other things, but this is really cool. I'd love to be a part of another one of these. I think many people would agree. I didn't realize that it was this easy, honestly. I would really, yeah, I would totally be interested in doing more live streams in the future, because this is really fun. Brianna asks, have I gotten used to being stared at in Korea, or have you just learned to ignore it? And are there times where you get discriminated against? I would say that the staring is not really a problem in Seoul, because there's, like, so many foreigners here, honestly. Like, no one's gonna really, like, pay special attention to you if you're just, like, walking down the street, unless it's, like, a really old person or they're, like, drunk or something. But, yeah, I don't think it's actually that much of a problem here, whereas, like, in Jeonju, people would stare at me a lot. You get used to it. I think, like, most days it never really bothered me, except for, like, when I wasn't feeling very well. Like, I just don't want people giving me extra attention, you know? But, yeah, it's... Okay, so Toomey asks, what time is it over there? It's 1:40 a.m. I really have to go pretty soon, guys, but, like, don't worry. I definitely want to do this again, because this is really fun. What do I like the most in Korea? I would say the thing that I miss the most when I'm not here is definitely the food. I just realized how, like, crappy this looks. Yeah, the food is really important to me. I like eating. I mean, who doesn't? But, like, I think I really like the meat culture, like grilling meat. It's really fun, and it's, like, a good way to, like, get close to people. And I really like the noraebang culture also. Like, I just love that there's always something to do, because in Seoul, like, it's a massive city, and it's just, like, full of, like, hidden spots and, like, cool areas that are really fun to explore. Sylvia Mahmoud asks, do I watch K-dramas, and is there one that I would recommend? So like I said earlier, I don't watch a whole lot of K-dramas right now, just because I'm super busy, because I have school. I'm taking 23 hours of class every week, which is, like, 10 hours more, or, like 8 hours more than, like, average person. And and then I also commute to school 3 hours every day, so that's an extra 15 hours, and I have a job, and I also have an internship. And then I also manage this channel, so like I'm really busy all the time. But I think the best K-drama that I've watched is probably The Good Doctor, which I talked about earlier. Isaac Wittenberg asks, is there anything I don't like about Korea and would change if I could? I guess like the first thing that comes to mind for some reason is like, I guess like more rights for people who are like LGBTQ or like trans or like have disabilities. I think Korea is really not very accessible to people who aren't like the standard person, like whether that be like culturally or just physically. Like it's difficult to navigate if you're not like of the norm here. So I think that's something that Korea could definitely improve on. Travel says, when you're in Vietnam, I could give you some information about good restaurant in cities. So thank you very much. I'm really sorry, guys, but I think I'm gonna have to log off in about a minute. I'm gonna log off at 1:45 a.m. Korean time. So if anyone has any final questions that they want to ask me before I get off, I'm gonna answer the next 3 questions really shortly. So just like type them quickly in the comments, and I'll get to them before I go to bed. So waiting for the comments. My hair is a mess. I didn't brush my hair this morning, guys. I just had to like run out the door because I was gonna be late for my class, and I had like that presentation today, so couldn't really be late for that. So Toomey asks, when learning different languages, did you have moments where you would mix when you would mix one language up with another? Yes, this happens to me all the time. When I first got to Korea, I used to take Spanish in high school. So like whenever I would try to speak Korean, Spanish just kept coming out, and now whenever I try to speak Spanish, Korean comes out, which is really weird. Isaac Wittenberg asks, what is my favorite animal? Probably bottlenose dolphin. I know that's like the most basic answer ever, but you know what? Dolphins are amazing, guys. So I don't really care. What's the most delicious Korean food that I've ever tried? I think like the food that I miss the most when I'm outside of Korea is probably kimchi jjigae and kalbi. Kalbi is like really sweet rib meat. It's really good. And actually I tried takbal yesterday, which is like chicken feet, and it wasn't bad. So like if you're in Korea, I suggest you try it. But, yeah, so it's 1:45. Really sorry, but I'm gonna have to log off. This was really amazing. It was awesome to like talk to you guys in real time. So I definitely want to do something like this again. So just hold on, I'm gonna look at the stream options. Alright. I'm gonna log off now. Alright, thank you very much, and we'll see you. Oh, I don't have a Snapchat. Sorry, I saw what. I don't have a Snapchat. But yeah, I'll see you again really soon. Bye. How do I log off? Alright. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Okay, bye. You guys are amazing. Bye.